Great evening and welcome to each and every one of you. Lakeisha McKnight is here. I want to welcome you to the Revitalize, the Total Woman podcast. Indeed, this is the media outlet that is a part of the nonprofit entitled Women of Elevation Career Services International. And that's the trade name or market name for the legal name of the company, which is the Kingdom Expansion Enterprises Incorporated. It is a 501c3 organization that empowers women like yourself with the tools to be able to create, relate, and elevate. So once again, welcome to the podcast. It is indeed 8:01 p.m. on this Wednesday, September 20th, 2017. And I want to thank you on behalf of all of the leaders, the board of director leaders, all of the members of the organization. Thank you so very much for being connected to this podcast and thus to the nonprofit organization, Women of Elevation. We always encourage you to go to the website and learn more about what we do. And we're trying to update the site, hopefully on a weekly basis. That's the goal. The website address is www.womenofelevation.com. So I appreciate you for being here, being a part of what it is that we have going on with the nonprofit and just finding out how we can better serve you and help you to walk in the career that you've always desired. It is our desire to help you do that. We serve single women with children, single women, even if you don't have children. Okay. We also serve those women who have been battered and abused or who may be going through it right now. And then lastly, we serve those women who have unfulfilled career goals. So you're still on the journey. You haven't reached it yet. You haven't said, I'm here, right? And you finally arrived. And so we help you as well because we know that these particular women who are single with children, you have a huge burden. You have a huge responsibility, which sometimes can actually slow down or stop the process for you pursuing your careers. And then those of you who have been battered and abused, yes, you're going through so much emotional turmoil or have gone through it that it could have prevented you from moving forward. And then those of you who have unfulfilled career goals, that's a given. You haven't arrived yet. And so we want to be able to help you in your endeavors, or at least on your journey to achieving your goals with your career. So thank you so much for being here. So before we even get started, I want to share on Facebook, okay, because that's a platform we leverage a lot. If you weren't here yesterday for the podcast episode, I encourage you to go back and listen to that after we're finished here live. All right. And even if you're listening to this on demand, go back and listen to that episode. It may be helpful to listen to it first and then come back and listen to this one because this is a continuation from last night. Okay. A continuation. So let me go ahead and share on Facebook. And so where I'm going to share on my timeline, and I'm also going to share in the community group. As a nonprofit organization, we do have a community group that we encourage you to go on and actually, just be a part of what we have going on. You can receive updates there. So whatever it is that you want to be updated on, because we have projects throughout the year, we have special giveaways, we have updates regarding our expansion into Nigeria and so much more. So what I would love for you to do right now, okay, what I would love for you to do is definitely keep listening. Okay, share this episode with other women that you know. Let them know about this podcast. Let them know, hey, there's a podcast that exists that's going to help you to reach your career goals, and ask them to get connected. It does not matter what language they speak. It does not matter what country they live in. Encourage them to get connected today. We're in a process of creating a career guide. Okay. We want to create a career guide for you so that you can just take it and begin to work it so that you can be well on your way to really walking in the career that you desire. So stay tuned for that career guide. We're going to be releasing it hopefully soon. We want to release it before some of the leaders head on over into Nigeria, which is happening between October 15th and the 25th. All right. So this year, we're actually bringing the nonprofit and establishing a location of the nonprofit into Nigeria, Africa. So let me go ahead and share on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and say, join me now as I am on the podcast, the radio, I should say, radio sharing about how to become a visionary thinker. Okay? And so some people may be thinking, well, I think that I'm a visionary thinker already. And then that's what our focus is going to be. We're going to show you what you can do to become one. You see, we talked about what a visionary thinker or what visionary thinking is and how it helps women to prepare for elevation. But we're going to talk to you and give you strategies on how to engage in visionary thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and post that on my timeline. And then I'm also going to post inside of our community group. So just bear with me for a second as we are trying and seeking to do that right now. Even as I'm sharing with you, depending on when you're listening to this, I am sharing inside of our group. All right. And if you're trying to look for our group or just searching for our group, we're going to have the link to the community group inside of the description area of this podcast episode. And then I'm also going to verbalize what that link is. Okay. It's really simple to find it. You can actually look it up in the search area on Facebook. So if you look up, there's a search little bar, just put in Women of Elevation and you can find it as well there. But if you want me to verbalize it, I can do so as well. It is facebook.com/groups/Women of Elevation. So you always have to put that category in between there for the URL for Facebook. So it'll be facebook.com/groups/Women of Elevation. Okay, so that's how you would find us. And so I just shared and invited some women to come and join in, and they can feel free to join in, however way they like. So I appreciate and I thank you so much. And I know that there are many of you from various countries around the world that tune in to this podcast and also some other podcasts that I have, because I just want to let you know that this podcast is a part of the Leadership TKO radio station. Okay, so we kind of merged the two since I'm hosting it and the lead host. We just kind of bridged the two a bit so that we can make it sync and we can reach more people. So this is the reason why we have it under one roof. All right. So once again, I thank you for being here on this evening. All right. And even if it's daytime where you are, thank you so much for being connected. So how do you engage in visionary thinking? I have a couple of strategies for you. I'm not going to keep you long, but one of the ways to do so is try to get yourself out of the box. You know how sometimes people try to keep you in a box? They try to continue to encourage you to do the same things over and over and over again, right? They encourage you to do that. Well, we want to encourage you to do the opposite. We want to encourage you to think as if there is no box, like no box really exists at all. We want you to just go at it. Just begin to write. Even if you want to write on a sheet of paper, you want to type it on a Word document, you want to, if you're a Mac user, you can open up a new memo pad area and begin to just type. We just want you to write about where you see yourself in 1 year. Just start typing, start writing. Write. Don't think about editing. Don't think about how it sounds. Just begin to write where you see yourself in 1 year. And if you're an entrepreneur, I want you to think about, you even consider where you see your business in 1 year. So 1 year from today, where do you see your business? 1 year from today, where do you see your family? Think about these things and write or type them. This is one way to engage in visionary thinking, and not just on one occasion. I want you to think about and review this, okay, on a week by week basis, starting this week. Okay, that's the challenge I have for you. Starting this week, I want you to engage in that. And not just write it. Here's a second strategy to becoming a visionary thinker, because visionaries are creative. They use their imagination, all right? They're thinking about the future. That's what makes people visionary thinkers. And so the second way to do this is just begin to verbalize it, speak it out into existence. I don't want you just to kind of think and ponder on it. I don't want you just to be a strategic thinker. I want you to think out loud, speak it forth into the universe, into the environment. Begin to speak what you see. Begin to speak what you want, right? Bring life to your thoughts. And that's how you bring life to it, by speaking it out. I will be such and such and such. My company will be such and such and such. It will be global. We'll have 4 locations throughout the United States. We'll have 2 locations outside of the United States in specific countries. Now, you want to make sure you specify. Be as specific as possible. And if you can have dates along with that, write down some dates as to when you want these things to happen and make sure they're realistic. But you want to use your imagination. Be as creative as possible. And so these are just 2 strategies I wanted to give to you that's going to help you to become a visionary thinker, because not only do visionary thinkers think, but they also begin to speak it out loud. So again, I appreciate you so very much. I do. Remember, go back and listen to episode 1 of this week and episode 2, which is today. Okay, review it and begin to implement these strategies. Begin to become a visionary thinker. And so once again, appreciate you, dear. Appreciate you so very much for being here, being a part of what we have going on with the Revitalize, the Total Woman podcast. So I know you're probably thinking, well, Lakeisha, since we engaged in visionary thinking this week, what does next week look like? And I want to let you know that next week we're going to talk about being a strategic thinker. Strategic thinker. So be sure to come on back next week, starting on Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that we can talk about what it is and how to do it, right? How to be a strategic thinker. So thank you so much. Go to the website, www.womenofElevation.com, to learn more about what we have going on. And don't forget to check the description area so you can click on those links so that you don't miss any of the freebies that we're soon going to offer. Be blessed, and I'll speak with you on next week.